Good day to all, comrades and friends. This is Global Weekly News, serial number 10. First, South Africa sack dollars movement. Abalali Base Jondola is the name of the Shake Dollars movement, that is Hot Dollars movement in South Africa, mobilizing poor people and struggling for land housing rights. This movement was started in Durban, the port city of South Africa, in 2005. In South Africa, apartheid was successfully defeated by People's Movement. Shake Dollars Movement or Hot Dollars Movement or Homeless People's Movement mobilizes tens of thousands of militant poor people. The Durban Municipal Councillor promised a piece of land for housing of the poor, but he violated this promise by giving away the land to a local industrialist. People resorted to road blockade. From this onwards, the movement spread to more than 30 settlement areas where thousands of poor homeless people joined the movement. In the last 1.5 years, more than 100 people were arrested. Local political goons, they give death threats. People got angry and protested before the offices of councillor, police stations, municipal offices and newspaper offices in thousands. They even boycotted the local party elections in 2006, stating that no land, no housing and therefore no votes. The sack dollars movement succeeded in making permanent settlements with basic facilities like water, power, schools, and health care. The settlements are administered in a democratic way. There are creches, gardens, cooperative sewing tailoring halls in some settlements. The people affected by AIDS were left as orphans, and these orphans were supported by the settlement administration. Football tournament groups, night-long music competitions are held successfully in some settlements. Lindakule Manguni, the chairman of Ikanana commune, came out on bail from prison. 28 years old Manguni was shot at his home at 1:30 a.m. by two gunmen on 20th August. The gunmen broke open the windows and entered the house and killed Manguni by shooting him with their guns. The wife of Manguni also was injured severely by the gunshots and is admitted in the hospital and undergoing surgery. On 8th March, the same two gunmen killed deputy chairman of Ikanana commune, Ayanda Angela, by shooting. There is a murder allegation on the 4 activists of the movement. 2 are already killed. From starting of the movement in 2005, so far 24 activists were killed. The police witnesses are not sound and fake ones, and therefore the court quashed the cases. Manguni and Ayanda Angela released in 2021 September and again arrested in 2022 along with 2 others. No evidence could be produced by the police, and therefore all the 4 were released on bail in the end of February. On 6th March, the 4 heroes were given a heroic welcome in the commune. At the end of the function, goons entered and killed a mother of 4 children. In spite of the fact that the government knew that their lives are in danger, the government did not give any protection to Manguni and others. Manguni was underground. He came to the commune on 20th August to develop poultry farms and vegetable garden. When he was alive, Manguni told, "There is no security of life for people like us. But socialism or death, we will march on." All over the world, 100 crore, that is 1 billion people are homeless. If you ask for your housing right and you will be shot dead. What is this? Is this fair? In United States, in the next 2 months, 38 lakhs or 3.8 million people will be evicted from their temporary tents. Second, we go to Argentina. of South America. Alberto Fernandez is the president of Argentina. Cristina Kirchner is deputy president. There are many allegations against Cristina Kirchner. In the court, the prosecutor said that Cristina shall be given a jail term of 12 years and no holding of office until life. Against this, supporters of Cristina Kirchner gathered in large numbers before her home. They stayed there for 5 days. The YouTube speech of 90 minutes of Cristina was broadcast to the audience, pleading innocence. Nestor Kirchner, the leftist, was the president from 2007 to 2015. After his death, his wife Cristina Kirchner was the president. She is now the vice president. She is fighting for land, housing rights, and dignity of Argentinian people. She could get a place in people's hearts. The rightists hate Cristina. Now Argentina is facing a debt crisis, IMF debt crisis. One after another, Argentina is facing political challenges. In Brazil, you can see lawfare against Lula. In Ecuador, lawfare against George Glass. Rightist forces control the judiciary and the media. Before 2007, the rightist Mauricio Macri was the president. He was having contacts with the judges. To recover from the debt crisis, Argentina is seeking IMF loan again. IMF loan rescheduling. IMF, International Monetary Fund, insists on austerity measures. The Vice President, Cristina Kirchner, is opposing IMF loans. Inflation is already high. There is a confrontation and conflict of interest going on in Argentina cabinet. Whenever leftists come to power, to retain their power and to consolidate, they have to smash the existing machinery bureaucracy. This is the lesson being learnt in many Latin American countries. Comrades and friends, let us see about inflation around the world. Different inflation rates are there in different countries. Due to high inflation, people of Sri Lanka conducted prolonged struggles which led to flying away of the President Gotabaya Rajapakse from Sri Lanka to Maldives and then to Singapore. More than 1,000 people died in Pakistan due to the recent rains and floods. There also high inflation prevails. If inflation rises, real wages of the workers will come down. That is, the rate of increase of wages is less than the rate of increase of prices of goods and services. Globally, the food prices have gone up by 37%. In Pakistan, people protest against the tax authorities because they could not pay the taxes, nor they could pay the electricity bills. Crude oil prices are on the rise since 2022 January. One of the main reasons is increasing in shipping fares. Due to COVID-19, shipping was affected for 2 years. In some harbors, many ships are there. In some others, few ships are there. Due to shipping rates increase, fuel and food prices are also on the rise. This is causing havoc in countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, etc. In Europe, there is a surplus capital. Foreign exchange reserves are also there in Europe. Due to the ongoing Ukraine war, aluminium production and zinc production have come to zero. Fertilizer production has also dwindled down. The impact of this will be there for many more years. When winter comes, Europe will face recession. News like these are never reported in newspapers, but the media cannot hide the scenes of people's protests in the streets. Let us go to Sri Lanka. Student unrest in Sri Lanka. Comrades and friends, in Sri Lanka, prices are skyrocketing. Inflation was 75% in June. It has gone up to 82% now. Economic crisis will be a prolonged one in Sri Lanka. The country is not able to repay the debts installments. Again, the country is surrendering to IMF to negotiate postponement of the dues and restructuring of IMF loans. IMF will definitely impose further stringent conditions. People of Sri Lanka are continuing their struggle against the government. Ranil Wickremesinghe, the president, has implemented national emergency for a month from 17th July to 17th August. On 18th August, 2000 students led by Inter-University Students Front (IUSF) conducted protest rally against the government and the economic crisis. Main demand is the release of those arrested during the emergency. As soon as the student rally started, riot control officials, along with a massive police force, tried to stop the students. They used tear gas shells and water cannons. 21 students were arrested. Though many of the students were released on bail, three student activists, Vasantha Modalige, convener IUSF, Kelala Siridamma, convener Monks Federation, and Hasantha Javanta Gunatilak, member of Kelaniya University Students Union, are not released. Three student activists are not released. They were kept in 72 hours detention by the police. The police was waiting for the president's order to detain them for 90 days in police custody. The president Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is also the defense minister, approved the order for 90 days detention on 22nd August without any trial. Anti-Terrorism Act was enacted in 1979 by the then President Jayawardene. The governments thereafter started using the draconian and against this law against dissenters and liberation Tamil Tigers of Sri Lanka. Recently, in 2019, during the bomb attack on the eve of Easter festival, hundreds of Muslim youth were targeted and arrested under this draconian Anti-Terrorism Act. Anti-Terrorism Act gives unprecedented powers to the police. The people getting arrested under this act will definitely face police torture. No need of presenting the detainees before a magistrate for 90 days. Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka has condemned the arrests of student activists. Amnesty International South Asia Director Yamini Mishra has said that Anti-Terrorism Act shall be immediately withdrawn. Fifth, we go to South American country, Chile, where there is going to be a new constitution, a good development. The old constitution, which came into being in Chile in 1980s during the dictator Augusto Pinochet rule, was pro-neoliberal policies, pro-corporate. In 2019, there was a huge people's upsurge against the constitution. The then president was forced to form a new constituent assembly. The constituent assembly of 155 members has gone deep into the issue of drafting up a new constitution for about 10 months. That draft is now released. On 4th September, 15 million or 1.5 crore voters will vote in the referendum on the constitution. There are many new rights in the draft constitution. Free higher education, universal health care, abortion rights, pensions, rights for indigenous people, water rights, gender equality, protection of environment, and combating climate change will be there in the new constitution. This says that proper compensation will be paid to the indigenous people who were displaced from their lands. Sex education will be in the syllabus, in the curricula. After Ecuador, Chile is the next country to come out with a constitution right of protection of nature. In 2019, then President Sebastian Pinora agreed to change the constitution in the background of struggles against extreme economic inequality. 36 people were killed in the struggles. Hundreds got injured due to government repression. In the plebiscite, 87% of people voted to change the constitution. Let us await the outcome of 4th September referendum on the new constitution in Chile. Comrades and friends, let us go to Brazil. After dictatorial rule in Brazil, new constitution was brought immediately. They did not wait like Chile for decades. On 2nd October, the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, elections from local to president are going to take place in Brazil. Lula da Silva, Workers' Party president, and Jair Bolsonaro, president of Liberal Party, are the main two contenders for the president's post. If Lula is able to get more than 50% votes in the first round, he will be declared as the president. Otherwise, he has to face second round polls on 30th October, wherein there will be two contestants there will be competing for the post of president. As per opinion polls, Lula da Silva is far ahead of his rival Jair Bolsonaro. The incumbent Jair Bolsonaro has passed a law to the effect that no inquiry can be conducted against him for corruption. More than 6 lakh people, that is 0.6 million people, died due to COVID-19. Due to 45 days delay in the purchase of vaccines, many died. When Lula was the president in 2015, he attended an international convention on climate change. Lula promised to reduce the carbon emission by 39%. Lula charged Bolsonaro in a TV interview that Bolsonaro did not keep up this promise. In TV interview, Bolsonaro abused TV moderator of spreading fake news about him. Brazil is the largest country in South America. 156 million voters, 15.6 crore voters. 156 million voters are there. Lula was elected as president in 2002 and 2006. Jair Bolsonaro was elected as president in 2018. In Brazil, people have right to vote from the age of 16 onwards. 18 to 70-year-old people, they are compulsory to vote. Otherwise, they will be fined. The Brazilians in foreign countries have the right to vote for president and vice president posts only. There was military rule in Brazil from 1964 to 1985. Now there are 32 registered political parties. Lula da Silva was the president from 2003 to 2011. This was the golden period. He joined in the efforts to form BRICS, B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, and later S for South Africa. There was a commodity boom. Deforestation of Amazon forests was being reduced. Living standards of the working class improved. Brazil was able to conduct 2014 World Football Cup match and 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympics. Dilma Rousseff was made the president in 2011 after Lula completed 2 terms of presidency. Due to an impeachment motion on the alleged, the so-called corruption charges, she was removed from president's post on 31st August 2014. In March 2021, Supreme Court has rejected the case against Lula as it could not find any evidence on the charges against Lula. We will come to know who will be the new president of Brazil, Lula da Silva or Jair Bolsonaro. Let us wait for the outcomes for the first round on 2nd October and if necessary, second round on 30th October. 7. We go to France. The transport workers of France have decided to go on strike from 1st September due to low wages, worse working conditions, and shortage of labor and contractization. 8. Bolivia. Workers from diverse sectors, peasants, students, and members of various indigenous organizations and social movements from all 9 departments of Bolivia arrived in La Paz, the capital, to ratify their support for the national government of the ruling movement towards Socialism Party. On 25th August, under the banner of March in Defense of Democracy and Economic Reconstruction, over 1,010,000 Bolivians mobilized in support of the government. Thank you, comrades, for your patient hearing. We will meet next week. Thank you, comrades.